This chocolate log recipe is probably one of the most complicated recipes we've got in our book, so we thought we would do a full video showing you how to do all of it. So first of all, we're going to put our oven on to 180 degrees fan or gas mark 6. Then we're going to separate our egg yolk. So what we're going to do, it's really important that none of the egg yolk gets into the egg white. So we're going to have a few bowls going on here, and you'll be able to see what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently break the eggs. And we're going to over one of the bowls, one of these small bowls, we're going to just allow all of the egg yolk to drip down the side of the broken up egg, and we're going to transfer from one shell to another the yolk until all of the egg white has fallen into that bowl. Then we're going to put the egg yolk into this separate bowl, and then if we're happy that there's no egg yolk in that egg white, we're going to then transfer that egg white into a large mixing bowl. Once we've done that with all of our eggs, we're going to whisk that egg white until it is nice and stiff, until it looks just like this. Then we're going to add half of the sugar from the recipe. We're going to beat while we're doing it. You can use an electric whisk if you like. Then in the other bowl where we've got all of our egg yolks, we're going to whip those egg yolks along with the other half of the caster sugar until it thickens. Then we've got another bowl, so into that we're going to sift some flour, which just means we're going to put a sieve over the top and just make sure we take all the clumps out of the flour, also the cocoa and the baking powder. Then what we're going to do is we're going to gently fold the other 2 bowls worth of contents into this using a metal spoon until it's well mixed. We don't want to beat it though. We have got a separate video on how to fold, but you can just do what you see here. Then we're going to get our baking tray that is lined with our baking paper, and we're going to gently pour that mixture into this and evenly spread it out. Then we're going to bake it in the oven for 15 minutes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put a tea towel on the work surface with a sheet of baking paper over the top of that. We're going to sprinkle that with caster sugar. You'll see why in a minute. Once the cake is cooked, turn it out onto the sugared paper. So just tip it upside down and then gently remove the greaseproof paper from that cake. While it is still hot, carefully roll up the cake and the sugared paper, keeping the paper between the layers of the cake. Cover with another tea towel and leave to cool. Put the cream in a mixing bowl and whisk it until it is nice and thick and forms smooth peaks. Once the cake is cooled, and you've definitely got to make sure that it cools, otherwise it will just melt all of that cream and you'll just have a huge mess. So make sure it's cooled. Carefully unroll it, being careful not to break it up too much. If it does break, it doesn't really matter, but try and be as careful as you can. Unroll it and spread over the Nutella, and then put the double cream on top of that. Then roll it up gently, this time obviously taking out baking paper, and then we've got our chocolate log. So we're going to put some cocoa in a small sieve, or just use the big sieve that we had earlier, and just gently tap it over the top. And then we're going to get some icing sugar, just that tablespoon of icing sugar, and we're then just going to, what they call, it's a fancy word is dredge, but we're just going to tap it and sprinkle that icing sugar over the top. And there we have it. We've got our chocolate log ready to enjoy. Don't forget, there are plenty of tips like this throughout our book. All you need to do is find the tip that you want, get your phone, give it a scan, and that will take you right to where you need to go, or simply follow us for more tips just like this. Enjoy.